it. I want to get some sun on my face. All right, y'all. Y'all see the title. The Lord said, He even told me what to title the message, man. About to piss some people off, man. All right, so we're going to let it rip. The title is, he said, title it Elizabeth the Exposer. I said, all right, Lord. So I've been testifying about some hard stuff, right, and exposing these Masons and Eastern Stars. And these people done hacked into my account, not only family, but some higher Masons to come against me to take me out, right? So I'm going to say the names. The Lord told me to give names today, okay? And so they have been hacked into my phone for a while now, and I'm dropping a few big names. And so this is to help put the pieces together. I know that there's detectives and there's good feds that are watching these people and their phones are tapped, but there's also bad feds, okay? There's also bad cops, but there's also good cops. So this is for me to expose them. They've been trying to keep me silent. So I told y'all how I met the lady in Teen Challenge. Her name's Pam McCann. I'm also going to be posting pictures of me, her, and her son, because she's an Eastern Star, and her son was the 33-degree Mason that bit my tongue and did all this witchcraft on me. He's also hacked into my devices, portraying to be me. They put me on the black web on, what is it? What is that porn site? OnlyFans or whatever, because he's had sex with me. And I have ex-lovers that have videos of me, and they've been filming me since a kid. So they have put all my stuff on the net. And the Lord said, expose their names, baby. Even though there's detectives and law people that know about them, the Lord told me to expose them real hard today. So it's John Pate is Pam McCann's son. And John's the one that put me on game a lot about what they were doing. I told y'all they're really cocky. And he told on himself a lot because they really thought they were going to kill me, right? And so he told me that he was CIA, that, well, see, his mama is tied in. They have people in the feds in as judges tied in with them. He also told me when he was young, he was being trained up, not only because they come from an occultic family, but he told me he was a PI and he would do investigations when he was married to Devin, who is his wife, and their family's tied into this too. They were sent in to one up to come against me, to take me down. And so these are the families. The Lord told me to drop their names today. So I'm gonna post John's picture. He's the one that bit my tongue and did all this witchcraft. He's the one tied in with some of my family members to put that $100,000 insurance policy on my head. So when he was dating me before it got really bad, there was one time I got away from him and I cleaned up at my grandmother's house in Mouton Cove. And he said he lost his phone, but that was a lie. And so he was like, well, since you're staying at your granny's, use your granny's phone or your daddy's phone and let me use yours for a week. And I did that, y'all. I wasn't aware of what all he was doing yet. So he had my phone, one of my cell phones, for a week. And he got into my phone, my Facebook. He also made accounts about me. He also has debit cards in my name, not only him, his mother. So when we got out of Teen Challenge, she had no money. They lost a lot of money, but she pops up with a BMW and wants to be my friend. Well, she got the BMW from another mafia member named Tommy, right? And they told me all this, but I just didn't know that they were sent in yet to sex traffic me and all this stuff. And Pam told me a lot of her story too in Teen Challenge, that she used to run girls. Like she went to some place in Florida, a treatment center, and she ended up prostituting some of the girls in there. So she was telling on herself even then, but I had no idea that she was going to think that she was going to do this to me. So when I got out, she came with a brand new BMW. Me and her actually went to Teen Challenge in this thing, and I had no clue that um, I think the car was in my name that the Lord was showing me. And she got it from Tommy, who's also mafia, and he's married to a woman judge in Lafayette. They're mafia, they're Masons and Eastern Stars, okay? Y'all, this is about names are being dropped. The Lord told me to drop their names. They're hacked into my phone. They have houses in my name. Well, see, Tommy got a new house after Pam got the car. Tommy was in some apartments. Then all of a sudden he gets this new house. Well, John told me that for him to come up in the mafia and to come up in the occult, that that he was using me, and they were trying to sell me to Tommy, okay? And that I was going to be Tommy's wife. And I was like, this is when they started telling on themselves, okay? A lot. Because they really thought they were going to sell me or kill me or destiny swap with me. And so I told him, he kept trying to prostitute me. I wouldn't do it. Now, did I sleep with him? Yes, I did. But he would try to get me to prostitute myself, and he told me that they were going to sell me to Tommy, that I was going to have to stay in this house with Tommy and this other mafia guy from New Orleans, because the plan was, when we got out of Teen Challenge and I allowed Pamela McCann to move in at my granny's, right, with my dad's permission, and my aunt went off on her and said, "Are you here for the money?" I had no clue what was going on, y'all. And so she was like, "I have a friend who wants to set us up in this apartment, and he's going to help us. He's the one that helped me get this BMW." So she had a BMW in my name. I didn't know it was in my name. But they lost it because all the witchcraft they did against me, this car ended up getting really jacked up. And so when I found out that they were trying to sell me to Tommy, that's when I started bucking, getting away from them, going back and forth. But I learned a lot of information, right? And there's a lot of people tied into this, y'all. So I know there's a house in my name, and I'm going to back it up, because before I'm going to explain a few of the warlocks that came against me. One is James Buck from Perry, the one that murdered my son. So when James couldn't kill me with this snake and all this witchcraft, see, when they can't take you out, they got to go higher, okay? I'm a teacher. So after that, again, my baby daddy came in, right? Which I went to him, but I was led to him. Well, he couldn't take me out, Timothy Douillon. So then I'm in a church, and I got sent from a board member of Kingdom Warriors named Joan, led me to this guy named Mark Anzalone, who is mafia and occultist. I did not know at the time. He tried pimping me out and killing me, and he couldn't. Well, when I left his house, I ran in fear to my spiritual dad's house, my old spiritual dad's house in River Ranch, for the ministry of Kingdom Warriors. And they sent me to Teen Challenge. Well, when I left in fear from Mark Anzalone from Lafayette, he's mafia and he's an occultist and a Mason. I left my social security card there and my ID, because I took off, because I'm surrounded by this coven and all these mafia people. I'm used to banditos, right? Or gang members from Vermilion Parish. So new levels, new devils, right? So I know Mark Anzalone has stuff in my name. He's a realtor, and like I told y'all, I saw on my credit from my Chase Bank that I have a house, which I don't have a house. I'm homeless, but I live with my dad's cousin. I don't have a car. That's their car. They let me use every once in a while. So I know Mark Anzalone has stuff in my name. I know Pam McCann and her son John Pate. Tommy, too. These people were all sent in who are Mason and Eastern Stars. Tommy is married to a judge. I don't know her name, but she's a female, right? And so as I'm out there, as they're traumatizing me, doing all this stuff to me, I'm listening. But they never thought I was going to speak out. After John tried biting my tongue off, they thought that it intimidated me and put me in fear where y'all thought wrong. Okay? Also, I was sharing about Sophia's dad's murder. So I've been questioning, going back and forth with God, because I've been seeing him in my sleep, which he was also tied in, y'all. And but I got a phone call. Now, this is when I was with John Bakke and Scott, okay? This was like 2-3 years ago. And that's when I found out, because they got sent in to take me out. Well, that week before Sophia, I haven't talked to Sophia's dad in like 2 to 3 years, okay? And all of a sudden, one of our old homeboys from back in the Gap, yeah, I'm dropping y'all names. His name's Jeremy Sasak. Well, that was tied into all those murders with Tyler and those two people that got burned in Vermilion Parish by Derek Viator, and Denny Babin was there, Johnny Primo, all kind of people. And I was the last one to see Tyler, y'all. I didn't know none of this was going on, but I learned the hard way. Well, so Jeremy was involved too, in a sense. Well, Jeremy is the one that called me about my baby daddy. Now, I haven't seen Jeremy Sasak in years, or my baby daddy. And I'm with John Pate, right? Never known John Pate till I met his mama, right? But they knew me. They've been studying me a long time. He told me this too. He's very cocky. 33-degree Mason. I'm kind of wondering if he is, because he's one of the dumbest Masons I've ever met. I understand he's cocky because of pride, and he told me a lot. He taught me a lot. So, I get a phone call, and I'm at John's little camper in Scott, where he worked for a black guy. They were on that property, but they were also tied into the Outlaws. He told me he was trying to come up in the outlaw biker game, and he was also connected with the Banditos. And so, and he was letting me know all this, like, yep, you're gonna be, for me, I'm a prostitute you. But he was drawing from me, traumatizing me and all this stuff. And him and his mom were trying to come up some more, right? Because they were already up. Now, remind you, James Buck first, then my baby daddy second again, and then now Mark Anzalone, who's mafia and an occultist. And so they couldn't take me out. So then I went back to Teen Challenge. Then James Buck tried again. And then I went to Minden, and then that's where I met Pam McCain and her son, John Bakke, when I came back. And they came on my family's property. My aunt bowled up on them about this money that I had no clue about, right? What house? I don't have the house. It's in someone else's name, Irish. Well, it's in my name, but they're living in it. So, yeah. So I'm with John going through all this stuff. We're on meth, and Jeremy hits me up randomly. No, I left John, mad at him. I went clean up at my dad's, and Jeremy Sasak contacts me on Facebook. I still have all these messages, right? So I got receipts. I didn't want to hold receipts. God told y'all when he prophesied through me almost 3 years ago, he was giving y'all an opportunity to repent. But y'all didn't want to stop coming against me. Y'all didn't want to stop slandering me, putting me on the web, portraying to be me, putting houses, cars in my name, portraying to be me on Facebook, on YouTube. Y'all just been trying to steal and slander from me, calling me a false prophet, calling me a prostitute. Now I'm going to keep it a stack. When I was in my 20s, there was a few times I sold myself to some black men for some Oxycontin. A couple times. I admit that. But any other time, I never sold myself. And those black men that I sold myself to, my kids got murdered behind that stuff. Because I got KKK in the family and in these covens, right? So I could tell what I have done. I hold myself accountable. I'm raw. I'm authentic. And I'm not afraid to say anymore nothing about my life. So I am not a prostitute. I've done things in my 20s I'm not proud of, okay? But I'm not selling myself. I am nobody's hooker or prostitute. I do not have a pimp. They tried to pimp me out, but they got played. They pimped themselves, okay? Well, Jeremy calls me. Like I said, I ain't heard from Jeremy in years. And he's like, hey, you heard from Tim lately? I said, no, I ain't talked to Tim in years. He's like, well, did you hear the rumor going around that I tried to kill him? And I said, no. And I said, what do you mean? He said, well, because Tim was struggling with fentanyl. Me and Tim used to do fentanyl. Me and Tim struggled with addiction for years, y'all, and we have a daughter together. And he was like, yeah, I brought him some fentanyl and he OD'd on it, but I Narcaned him and brought him back, and he went tell people I was trying to kill him. I said, well, Jeremy, I haven't talked to Tim in years. And he was like, oh, okay. Well, a week later, Tim dies. Now, I've been wrestling with this because ever since the funeral, which he was cremated, but all his old homeboys from the past, some of those that were involved in these murders, people that I grew up with, showed up to the funeral home in Lake Charles. Um, but Tim was cremated. That's why I was struggling with, did he fake his death because he was involved in stuff? But Tim, I don't want to cry. Jeremy told me that Tim thought he tried to kill him. A week later, Tim's dead from a fentanyl overdose. Then I got Jeremy calling me again. And I began to start questioning things, right? Well, at this time, John had my phone. Well, I get my phone back. And I see a message from John and his boss, this black guy that he worked for in Scott. And on the messages, because I got my phone back and he left it on there. And he was like, her baby daddy died. And the guy was like, really? And then they stopped talking. So he was sharing something about Timothy Douillon, who is my daughter's father. And then Jeremy hits me up when I'm with John, because he knows I'm doing meth. And he's like, why don't you and John come meet me? And why don't we party together? Now, mind you, this stuff just happened to Tim. I'm trying to piece the puzzle together, and they're doing all this witchcraft. Jeremy's calling me a little terrorist. John's telling on himself because he's bisexual. Jeremy is. Well, now I'm putting pieces together, right? So I leave John, and Jeremy contacts me about my baby daddy, accusing him of trying to kill him. A week later, Tim dies from a overdose. And Jeremy contacts me, and he tells me, do you know that, now mind you, Tim is dead, right? Now I've been wrestling Izzy because I've been seeing him in my sleep alive. But I went to the funeral. My daughter was there. I had family there. My cousin Holly even showed up. Tim's parents were there. A lot of our friends that didn't get locked up for these murders in the past, some that got out after serving time were there. All of them hate me. But I still went to show respects for Tammy's son and for Pia's daddy. And because even though me and Tim went through all this stuff, I had a heart for him. And I didn't know how to love. He didn't know how to love. But anyway, so I've been wrestling because I've been seeing him in my sleep alive. But he's holding my daughter. So I was like, did he fake his death? Because Tim, he a G with it, bruh. And his family done got him out of stuff because he used to work for the Mexican mafia and got him out of doing a lot of time. And that's when he stopped selling for the Mexican mafia. And he always had a good work ethic. And one thing he did right financially, took care of me, even though there was abuse, but I wasn't perfect either, right? We were both drug addicts two hurt people hurting each other, right? And we made a beautiful daughter. So I'm at this funeral and everybody's mean mugging me, but I still went for my daughter, Tammy, and to show respects, right? And John wanted to go to that funeral with me, and I told him no. Now, we're fighting back and forth. So when I come back, I told Tammy about Jeremy. So Tammy's Tim's mama. Now, this happened in me and Tim's old townhouse that we lived in years ago together. And I haven't lived with Tim in years. I haven't talked to him in years. Well, he still stayed in the old townhouse that when I left him to go back to treatment, he stayed in that house. Well, there was a bill. The electricity bill was in my name. The cable bill was in my name. And I totally forgot about that because when I left him, I was mad at him because I found out that he was in the occult attacking me too. And I was trying to go to this faith base in Texas. Tim is the one. I knew my mama was in dark practices, but Tim was the one that told me she was a witch. Tim told me. I didn't know. I knew because we all done stuff, but this is before I knew who my family was and how dark. And he's the one that told me my mom was a witch. I found out they slept together too. Y'all, it's so sick. It's a lot of stuff, y'all, my story. Well, anyway, whenever I was putting these pieces together, I got away from John. I got clean enough to go to the funeral. He's wanting to go. His mama, Pam's wanting to take me. Like, why are they wanting to bring me to Tim's funeral? I told him, no, y'all are not. No, thank you. My dad's going to bring me. And so when I get back, no, before that, I told Tammy what Jeremy told me. So Jeremy was not allowed to come to the funeral, right? Well, when I come back, Jeremy called me, questioned me if I told anybody, if I talked to anybody. I said, yeah, I talked to Tammy. Now, I didn't tell him what I said, but he knew what I said. And yeah, they wouldn't let me go to the funeral. And I'm like, well, I mean, so he calls me again and he tells me, hey, this is after Tim died and was cremated. He messaged me on Facebook. I have these messages still. And he says, you got to go cut off that electricity, or are you going to keep it on? Because Tim's brother was living in the house, his baby brother. And he was like, are you going to cut it off? Because Bubba's still there, Teddy. And I was like, so it's still in my name? He said, yeah, you got a couple bills in your name. And I said, well, no, I'm going to go cut it off. So I went cut off the electricity from Slimco. And there was another bill, a Cox bill, that ran up so high that I couldn't pay. So I just didn't deal with it. But Jeremy knew stuff he shouldn't have known. And so when John was telling me how, John and Jeremy were close. John Baca and Jeremy Sayside. Oh, yeah, the Lord told me to expose y'all names. So, because God has been giving y'all a window of 3 years to repent. But y'all kept coming at me. John was very interested in my daughter, too. He kept telling me he's been watching Sophia. And he would say all these things about my daughter. And it would put me in rage, right? Once I knew who he was. And they were trying to get a lot of information about my daughter because she got adopted from Neville's LeBlanc, which is Tim's stepdaddy, and his mom and her mama's now is a LeBlanc. And they adopted her, and they have money. Well, he was trying to find out stuff after Tim died about my daughter. And he told me they've been watching not only me, but my child. So if this helps anybody connect dots, because I know they're watching, so y'all can be pissed off. I don't care. I done had enough. Don't come against my kids. Stop coming against me. Stop thinking y'all going to get away with this. So when the Lord impressed it on me, because I haven't been saying names, he told me today to expose y'all names. Now I'm going to I already have pictures of them on my Facebook, but I'm going to post them so y'all could see their faces, all of them. And there's people from that I thought was my friends that were also tied in. So Sarah, you better start talking. I don't want to say your last name, but you were involved too. And it really hurt me. But I still love you and I forgive you, okay? But I already know that they're all turning against each other in this moment. Because that's my prayer. Lord, scatter my enemies because they're many. Throw confusion into the camp and turn them against each other and make them tell on each other. I've been clowned for calling 911 because I've been having these covens, mafias, banditos, cartels, other biker gangs, street gangs try to kill me. I've always done my time for my crimes. It's time for y'all to do the time. These people done so much witchcraft on me to make me want to die, which I have slit my wrist before and almost died. And I told that story about Lourdes Hospital when they pushed me into a back room when I called my cousin Nicole and told her about these murders while they're stapling my arm, and they pushed me in a back room and I stroked in the back. They didn't have me connected to nothing. There's a lot of hospitals involved. There's a lot of law involved. There's a lot of gangs, a lot of Masons. It's really big. It's not only Abbeville Hospital. I got messed up in Lafayette General, also Lady of Lourdes. They done bad stuff to me, okay? I'm going to start dropping doctors' names next. I'm going to start dropping police officers and sheriff's names next. But I'm dealing with, and there are a lot of them are Masons, but I'm dealing with these right now. The ones that are hacked into my phone, that have houses and cars in my name, that have slandered me to be a prostitute and a false prophet. Now I'm going to share a story I'm going to get off of Jeremy and John, who are lovers, who I think killed my baby daddy. I think they had something to do with it. Because I saw messages that John told his old boss, this black guy who was also tied into the feds too, which John told me this. So y'all could be mad at John because John ratted y'all out. But y'all want to laugh and call me a rat. He said a lot of y'all business to me. The one y'all wanted to make come up to be a biker, he told on y'all. He told me all y'all business. He was that cocky because he thought he was going to kill me, him and his mother, Pam. Whew. Yeah. Lord, what else you want me to release right now? So I know he's also tied into my Uncle Gary, who's also tapped into my phone. I had another guy named Jacques come against me who's also tied into bikers. His ex-wife was tied into the Banditos before she went to Teen Challenge, Leah. So they all been trying to come against me, but portraying me to be some type of way. Well, John told me one day, and I totally forgot about this. The Holy Spirit reminded me, and I'm so grateful that he brings things to our remembrance. But they have done so much craft, MK Ultra, and programming on me, hoping to scatter me and make me forget this stuff because they can't kill me. I mean, they do, but when they did in the physical, now the only time I died in their presence and the Lord brought me back is when I was on meth, which is crazy, right? But I had an open door, but God still resurrected me because of my purpose, because I'm Elizabeth the Exposer, and I was supposed to stand to speak all this truth to expose what was going on in my community. Okay? Tried biting my tongue off, y'all, so I couldn't talk, and to put fear into me for me to shut up. So John told me, now John, when I went to Kingdom Warrior meeting when I first got out of Teen Challenge, me and his mama went in that car that they got from Tommy, that they were going to owe him for, but they were going to sell me to Tommy. Because Tommy worked for a car lot and he would get cars, right? It was a blue BMW. I went to it in Teen Challenge. I got pictures of it. I got pictures of Pam, Tommy, and John at the gas station before they came pick me up in the car. We went to a Kingdom Warrior meeting and John came. John was not a Christian, right? Well, he came into the meeting. He very charismatic. He talked to everybody. So he got to meet Jimmy and all them. Well, when me and John's fighting and after this stuff about the murder of my baby daddy, right? He told me that when he was going to leave, see, me and him, oh, look, the helicopters. Hold on, y'all. Oh, yeah. So when me and him left Kingdom Warriors that night, I left with his mama. He left in a truck. So I didn't hear what was said to him when he left, but he told me that my old spiritual dad, Jimmy, told him good luck with her. Now, I've been questioning, was it good luck with her because he was sent in to kill me, and also Jacques was too, to take me out, who was also a part of Kingdom Warriors with Leah. And Leah called in fear one day when I was with him and Dickie and Carla watching their son play, and she's calling in fear, checking on Jacques, her ex-husband, to make sure he was okay. But why were you calling to check on him? But y'all know everybody that comes against me gets caught up. But y'all didn't want to stop. And y'all still trying, y'all scattering because y'all freaking out because I'm exposing y'all. Rightfully so. Y'all should be shitting y'all pants right about now. Because they done so much witchcraft and trauma on me that I did crap my pants. And excuse me for saying that word. Yeah, game over, bruh. And like I said, another warning. Do not come after Ocean, Sophia, or Oasis. They told me they've been watching my kids too. Now, they put my kids in fear. Man, y'all messed up. Y'all really did. Y'all effed around and found out, huh? Well, see, y'all still effing around. So the Lord told me to, and I'm about to start dropping some more names. I got a whole lot, y'all. A whole lot. But they never thought. They thought they were going to, they tried killing me and I kept living. kept being brought back to life, kept exposing them, not even aware what was going on. So now it's like we're just going to put her in fear. If we team up with all these covens and all these stuff, you know, she's going to shut up. She's going to try and kill herself. And y'all, I've been depressed. I've taken a lot of drugs. Once I found out that these churches, these ministries, my family, all these people were involved. Yeah, there was a time I wanted to die. But God. So anything they're doing, and see, I've had my dad try to get me to delete my Facebook account, and I wanted to, because I have all these strange men hitting me up, and I'm not a prostitute. Like I said, there was a few, I was never on the corner. I called a couple of my homeboys back in the Gap, 2 of them, right? And said, hey, bro, I don't have no money. Well, hey, give me some of that thing, and I'll give you some Oxycontins. I keep it gutter. And both of those babies passed. One from a miscarriage and one from an abort. No, one got cut out of me. The second baby that I lost was actually for Tim. The Lord showed me. Because she looked just like Pia. He allowed me to see what she looked like. And that's the one my dad named Esther when we were in a prayer meeting. Y'all, my story's deep. They've been trying to stop me from saying it. But I'm Elizabeth the Exposer. Y'all clown me about, y'all, they even clown me about my light. Oh, look, this little light of mine, she's going to let it shine. Yeah, I'm shining it on y'all big time. The light exposes the darkness. I was birthed in this earth and created to do this. Like Joan of Arc, I was born for this. I have a prophecy over me that I was a Deborah and a Joan. You damn right. Deborah was a prophet, a mother to Israel. Joan, martyred at the stake at 19, killed by the church. They said she was a witch. She had all these visions. Yeah, Joan did, just like me. But the thing is, y'all killed me, but the Lord resurrected me. Because I have a big mission with a big commission of souls. And y'all are not stopping this. Y'all could keep doing stuff and slandering me and grouping up with other churches, other gangs, other covens, other Eastern Stars, and other Masons. But y'all are bringing more people into it, and they're going to get exposed. And people are dying behind this and getting sick because all their witchcraft and all their attempts to take me, my husband, and our family out, it's backfiring on them. People are getting cancer like Angie. That has attacked me, who was a part of the Banditos with James Buck. They've been trying to silence me forever. My mama's good friends with Angie. I didn't know that, but they all eat kids. And they all been trying to kill me. And they want my children, but y'all can't have them. Saith the Lord, but guess who else? Saith me. They're mine. Must I say more? Because I am. More names are coming out. Y'all owe me, man. I don't want an apology, but y'all do owe me. Because apology ain't enough. What y'all have done. And thinking you're going to get my daughter. Jacques and John talked about my daughter. Man, y'all messed up. Why is my daughter so special to y'all? They were trying to find out stuff about Tammy and Neville's because they know they got money. But they also Masons and Eastern Stars. So y'all, this stuff is deep. And I love y'all. I've been praying for all of y'all to come out. I signed some papers a long time ago with Pia. And that's why Tim, he was so mad at me. That I signed Pia over to them. And I just got out of jail and I got into ministry. And I knew who was after me. And I didn't know Tim was involved or them or my family yet. I knew the banditos in this coven, but I had no clue about the family ties and all this other stuff. And he was so mad that I signed Pia over to them. He wouldn't do it. He would not sign. And he was so pissed off at me. And also, Tim, after I confessed about these murders and the banditos, because some of it was our friends, Tim would call me, beg me not to get on the stand. And I never did, because they played me crazy to where I couldn't get on the stand. But he would beg me, please, Liz, don't talk on these people. They're going to kill you. So I really feel they took him out. Because there was times he did messed up stuff to me, but guess what? I did messed up. We were both broken. Born in Mouton Cove, where this pedophile ring is. We tried to love each other, but we didn't know how. So if anything, because how y'all been wrestling him, is he alive? Did he, because I know he was going to Colombia. He was tied into a witch there. And once I found out he was a warlock, he was with my mom. He told me my mom was a witch. I wrestled, is he alive? Because I see him holding my daughter, but I really think he's dead. Because I seen some of his homeboys at the funeral broken. And I'm like, did they play it that good? A few of them. Some weren't crying. But Robert was broken. That's one of Tim's best friends. And Corey was angry. That's all I'm saying. So I'm like, dang, if the boy faked his death, which I wouldn't put it past him, you know. I was like, but Robert played that to a T, but I really think it happened. And Corey came to me and he was like, Liz, so who's that guy, biker guy you dating? And Corey was pissed. Jeremy Sasak. And I told Corey, I told Tammy's mama. They said they checked his body, all this stuff. Now, people could give you fentanyl to kill you. Yes, Tim struggled with addiction, but why would Jeremy Sasak call me a week before and tell me, did you hear your baby daddy was trying to tell people that I tried killing him, and then a week later he's dead from fentanyl? And then Jeremy's calling me, telling me about checks going to Tim's house and about all these bills being in my name. Y'all took him out because me and him have a kid together. His own supposedly best friend, y'all. This is what the enemy has done to friendships, y'all. We all grew up together. But because the one that told on them exposed them a long time ago, and I told the feds, the FBI about this, Tim begged me not to talk no more. And so y'all killed Tim. Just call me Elizabeth the Exposer. Jeremy, I am a terrorist. And you on my hit list, boy. So I guess you got AIDS like John, and then John was sleeping with me to give me AIDS to get me sick. That's a murder charge in itself. Yeah. Just call me Elizabeth the Exposer. I think I'm going to change my name. I need a new last name. I don't want the Pate last name anymore. Just call me Elizabeth the Exposer. Oh, y'all, it's like weights falling off of me. I could only imagine how y'all feel. Y'all are feeling everything that I felt these last 43 years, but 10 times worse. And rightfully so. 3 years ago, I prophesied. The Lord was giving y'all a window of opportunity. But what y'all did was try to come through a back door and do more stuff to me. Use my name, slander my name. Y'all, I am not techno savvy. Come on, 8th grade education. And that was all for a reason. The Lord knew all this was going to happen from beginning to end, right? The word of God is true, y'all. I don't know how to barely even, I'm trying to figure out stuff on this platform for my YouTube and Facebook, which they're hacked into, but I'm not good with electronics. They are. John's an amazing hacker, but a dumb one. Him and his mom are tied into CIA and government officials and cops, feds, you name it. But God. But God. Y'all really thought y'all was going to get over on me and kill me or play me crazy and do so much crap I was going to kill myself. No, I will live and not die, and I will proclaim the works of the Lord. And so will my children and my grandson, because me and my house will serve the Lord, and my husband and his kids, which are mine, because we already married in the spirit, and y'all even came against him. This is so deep. So deep. Yeah. I hear the Lord say, y'all could run, but y'all cannot hide from my wrath. Jails, institutions, and death. They say that in AA. If you don't get clean, this is what will happen. Jails, institutions, and death. I tasted all three behind y'all hand. But I did my own part, and I'm going to tell it all. A bestseller out here. It's going to be a box office movie. This is actually, the Lord told me, this is the biggest RICO sting to ever hit Louisiana. But you the only one, Elizabeth, that was bold enough to talk on all of them. I'm not the only one they done this to. Most people, they kill them or they silence them with fear. I told y'all I'm not from here. John knows who I am in the spirit. He told me that. When I first met him, he was super nervous around me, like really jumpy, y'all. A 3rd-degree Mason who he's killed people, but he would jump around me. So towards the end, once he done told me all this business, he had a pistol on him. And we high as a kite on my daddy's land. Boy, and I jump up. I was probably butt naked, the butt naked prophet who was just bound in sin. Yeah, come on, bro. I jump up and he's like, what are you doing? I said, stand up. I said, do you know? And because I'm under all this crap, but I said, do you know who I am? He says, yeah, you a prophet. I said, you are too, like a prophet of Baal. I said, now stand up. Y'all, and even though I was on dope, it was like, let's see who's going to answer by fire. He would not. He kept, shut up, get down, shut up. Now, they were filming us in on my granny's property. So people saw me stand up to him. He didn't want that. Oh, what? Stand up, Lord? Okay. Show him the hand? Okay. Ephesians 6:13. The full armor of God. When the day of evil comes, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to stand. I'm going to stand on the word. I'm going to stand 10 toes down. On my father. I'm here on assignment. Okay? Do you understand? Please tell me, do you understand? I'm on assignment. Okay? There's territories in other countries I haven't touched yet. And y'all been trying to stun it. God's very upset that you touch me physically, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally, but you have stopped for a while, for a little bit, the mission on my life. The other territories I'm going to take, but I had to take this one first. And by taking it, I had to expose y'all. Territory taker. I had to expose these giants in the land. But from right here, they look pretty puny to me, Lord. Uncircumcised Philistines. Looking dumb, huh? Stupid. Dumb and deaf stupor spirit, Lord. I hear it. You could run, but you can't hide. I like my hair. Did my hair. Got my nails done. Oof. Enemy tried to humiliate me earlier. You know what the Lord said? Because they tried humiliating me in town. The Lord said, this is the last humiliation ritual before you. I said, okay, Lord. Uncle Gary, you could run, but you can't hide either. Now I see why Ocean didn't like you. Pedophile. And this is nothing against the gay community. I used to be bisexual because of the molestation from all these people. But he was tied into the ring down here. He went to school to be a Catholic priest. And if y'all don't know, to become a high 33-degree Mason, to go really high in Satanism, you have to become a Catholic priest first. Study it. Well, he did all of it. Then he jumped out of it. I always wondered why. And then he became a counselor. He's trying to take my destiny because I'm supposed to minister to those in Satanism as a counselor and a deliverance minister and heal these men and women who have been traumatized from the occult, from the Eastern Stars, from the Masons, from the mafia, from these gangs, from being gang stalked, from being sold into sex slavery. Not only women, men. But you want to be a counselor and you out here a devil in a prestige place in Chicago, all this money, and you're a counselor? And y'all look down on me in the family, huh? The little black sheep, the little goat that nobody liked. Well, I know why now. Hi, I'm Miss Elizabeth Exposure. I ain't a Pate. I will never carry y'all name. Elizondo, I don't want that. That's Black Magic, Santeria. That's Eastern Star too. And on my grandmother's side, everybody, I love you, Mom, but everybody called you a saint. You weren't the saint. It was me. Hi, I'm Saint Elizabeth. I love y'all, but y'all hate me. But that's okay, because this is the word of God being made manifest in my life. Y'all hate me because I'm not from here. Y'all hate my God, who is Yahweh, Jesus. Y'all really don't have nothing with me. Y'all hate the fact that he chose me, but y'all hate him. Well, guess what? He loves me with an everlasting love, like in Jeremiah. Also, Revelations 19:7's on here. There's a lot of numbers, y'all. Y'all been knowing who I was. Some of y'all. Some of y'all were played and veiled, but y'all know who I am. I'm the great I am's baby. Y'all done messed around and found out for real this time. Y'all can't silence the prophets. Y'all killed a lot and silenced them just like in the Old Testament. But we in the new. And the Lord's doing a new thing and he's raising up a new army that's here. Hello. Wait, what? Ephesians 6:13? Hello. Marked by the occult. They say when you're raised to be a bride of Satan, they mark you. Shannon Brooks, when she first met me, when I come out, oh, you've been marked by the occult. Yeah, 7. I've been posting videos about the 5th bride of Christ. There was a 6. Hey, 7. But guess what? They knew who she was called to be. Just like me. That's the destiny swapping. They want us to be Satan's brides, but we not. She wasn't from here, and she got out and she been testifying, now I'm going to walk in that too, because if she could do it, I could do it. I wonder how long it took, because I watched one video of her. She was terrified to speak. And then I see her in a big auditorium getting it. It was a process to break that fear off from this Satanism, from MK Ultra, from all the trauma she was under. It's my season. It's my time to shine. For the glory of the Lord has risen upon me. Y'all are not stopping this. Y'all not going to come touch me in the natural. Even if y'all did and tried, the Lord would resurrect me again. Yeah, John, you right. I'm a prophet. You know exactly who I am. And from what you did to me, brought me into a fast, and the Lord showed me what kind of prophet I am. The one you could kill, but the Lord resurrects. You get what I'm putting down? Y'all not stopping this. You could run, but you can't hide. David said, I could go here, Lord. I could go in hell, and you still, still gonna find you. Now I see why my dad always wanted me to get rid of the phones. Well, that black phone that had all the information about John, that phone went missing when Jacques Robertson started dating me. The counterfeit that came in when I was waiting for my husband, who you tried to be but could never be. That phone went missing. I had a lot of receipts up in there. I had the messages of him and with the Jeremy stuff and the black guy and him like her baby daddy's dead. Yeah, y'all had something to do with it. And then you wanting information on my daughter? Oh yeah, y'all see this? That's that righteous anger. I ain't bitter. I'm better. This is the season of exposure. When I expose this stuff, this is horrific stuff what y'all have done. Like a horror movie, but it don't end the way y'all think it's gonna end. Because it's a love story. Chapter 13, baby. Boom! In the Bible, though, not Revelations 13, okay? Which, that's tied in there, too, because of who I am. The 13th chapter, you get it from Louisiana? It's the story of love. It won't be horror for me anymore until I martyr for the Lord and I'm not afraid to die for him because I've already died and been resurrected. No longer will y'all write my story. The Lord took the pen, but he's about to take so much more. And some of y'all are going to the pen. And some of y'all are going to be in the mental ward in the pen. Some of y'all ain't going to make it to either. This is a prophecy straight from the throne room of heaven. He gave y'all almost 3 years it's been, Lord. That number 3. An opportune time to make it right, to repent, to back off his prophets. But more than that, I ain't worried about the office. I'm his daughter. I'm his little girl, little old me, B, who broke out that monarch program, the butterfly. But guess what? Butterflies don't sting, but bees do. Hello, Deborah. A modern day Deborah, a mother of Israel. I love children. I don't eat them. I don't kill them. I made mistakes in the occult, but I confess my sins before heaven and all of y'all. I have nothing to hide. I am forgiven. I am blood-bought. I am chosen. I am worthy. And I am a force to be reckoned with in the spirit. The kingdom of heaven suffers violence, but the violent take it by force. John the Baptist, hello. Elijah, hello. Not only the Spirit of the Lord rest upon me, but I got other ones that rest upon me. But I'm Elizabeth the Exposer, hello. Queen Elizabeth, hello. Not from this world, hello. I'm here on a divine mission, hello. Won't be here long, but when I get martyred, the blaze of glory. I ain't afraid of y'all. Okay? I was for a long time. But that witchcraft tactic, it's done. The control, it's done. The domination, is done. The seduction, it's done. Because none of y'all can seduce me again because y'all nasty. And I know who my husband is, so back off of him too. And his kids, which are mine. Well, I ain't got nobody typing nothing. Everybody hush mouth, huh, Lord? About time, because they been bumping them gums. But guess what? The prophet, little me, bam, bam, bam. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You can run. I keep hearing it. But you can't hide. None of y'all. None of y'all. So if y'all want to come in the dream realm and do all this ooky stuff to try to make me kill myself, it ain't going to work. Do beauty spells, it ain't going to work. Little headache here and there, little neck ache. That ain't nothing to me, bruh. Y'all done killed me and God done resurrected me. Y'all think I'm worried about all this little baby stuff? The Lord's stripping y'all of everything. Now, here's a word. There's a few of y'all that's going to make it out of this. Just a few. The Lord had me prophesy that this morning. Just a few. Just a few. Sad. I'm talking from this area. But there's a lot more in other areas that I'm going to reach that are going to come out. But I'm talking about in Louisiana. There's a few of y'all that are going to be spared. But it depends right now on your confessions and your repentance. And if not, everything y'all meant for me is coming back tenfold. And for my husband and our kids and our grandson. And for the remnant. It's going to come back tenfold. Because y'all ain't only been attacking me. Y'all been attacking people because y'all know who I follow and who prays for me. So y'all been coming against them in the spirit. Yahweh's kids. Y'all gonna put respect on our name. Need I say more? I will, Lord. Just when you tell me to, but he told me I'm done for right now. But every time I say it, I get more freer. Now he told me to go post some pictures. So I'm going to go on Facebook. I'm going to post a couple of pictures of these people, which they're only already on my Facebook. But y'all want to post pictures and videos of me? Well, okay. Y'all want to still keep coming at me with all these death spells and at my kids and putting fear in them and at my husband and his children and at everybody I'm connected to in the spirit? Okay. All right. Y'all think because y'all got ties in the police department and the government, all this stuff, it don't matter. Because God got some of his people in there too. Y'all coming down, giants. I know what David's name means, the beloved. I've been called a woman David. One of my first prophecies in Kingdom Warriors. Hello. I keep hearing it. Elizabeth the Exposer. Yeah. Dog, snake fight, wolf fight, vamp fight, siren fight. You name it, I've been fighting it. But thank you, Lord, that you have been backing me and I got big dog angels in the spirit realm. Thank you that you live inside of me and that greater is he who lives in me than who's in the world and then definitely who's in y'all. Y'all chose the wrong team. But a few of y'all gonna make it out. So I pray for those under the sound of my voice that want to come out. They're scared. Everybody's turning on each other, backstabbing each other, all this stuff. I pray for y'all. I bind the spirit of fear. I loose a power, a dunamis power, love, agape love, and a sound mind and self-control. Do not be afraid of them. If I could come out, you can too. And y'all know that because a lot of y'all came at me, and I have a sound mind. I have peace and joy. Yeah, when I say this hard stuff, y'all see this because it's some hard stuff. I'm not bitter anymore. I'm better. But talking about this is very heavy for me. Okay? I even love the ones that ain't gonna make it. I love the ones that are gonna be in the mental ward and go crazy. I just saw people hanging themselves. Judas had a chance to make it right. He chose not to. Y'all think about that. I know this is some heavy stuff, but you don't have to die. I bind the spirit of death and I loose resurrection life. Don't take your life. Take accountability. Make it right. Don't take your life. Don't. I didn't. Now the demons and all y'all craft, I almost did. But God. But there's some of y'all that's gonna make it. Y'all fight. I'll be praying. Y'all gotta make it right though. Y'all have to deal with consequences and accountability just like I had to. Okay? Some hard words, man. It's warnings from a prophet, prophetess. But really, I'm just a daughter of Yahweh. I'm not from here. I'm just visiting for a little while. All right.